Good day and welcome. This is Kevin Kwolvik. I am going to be the instructor for ACA 122 and basically college transfer success and how to succeed in college. This is a fairly standard course among colleges and campuses where they go through and they try to provide information for what kind of services the campus has for you, and then also try to explain the kind of diligence, the kind of effort you're going to have to put in to basically succeed. And we just don't want anything to be a surprise. And part of that is getting used to the LMS. Now, the LMS, of course, is a learning management system. It was called previously Moodle. We're calling it My Courses. And you're going to be able to log into that for all of your courses. And some classes may have a great deal on there, some may not. It will populate as we move forward this semester. So what I'll show you right now is you can take a look here. There's just a couple of things that we're going to use for getting you into the course, and I'll sort of talk through the multiplicity of things that we have in here. But understand, I'll go fairly rapidly, but every single week another one of these chapters on the left-hand side will open up, and there will be some other stuff you have to go through for that. And traditionally it will be, I will open up a new one every Friday, but after a week and 2 days, on the following Monday, I'll close it, so everything has to be done by then. The most important thing for you is stay in touch with me about this course. If you're unable to attend, I need to know that in advance if at all possible, and then I'll need you to watch the recorded version of the class and do an additional assignment for every time you've missed class. The most important thing is that you're here. If you're one of my remote students or you're one of the in-class students, you've got to be there. You've got to attend. And I'm going to do all I can to make sure that nobody slips through the cracks. And we're all busy. I mean, a lot of us may very well have children at home, and maybe a full-time job or something as well. So I realize that I'm not dealing with just people who are fresh out of high school, although we have some of those as well. So I'm going to try to treat everyone here as functioning adults who want to get some help to make sure they stay on track. So this 8-week course is going to go by like that. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things before we get going. First of all, if you're one of the students who are not in class with me but are away, I want you to act as though you are in class. I'll be calling on people regularly, and I'll be calling on people in class, and I'll be calling on people away to get your feedback. So it's really important that you give me a response as best you can every time you're called upon, and that lets me know that you're sort of plugged in. I know for a fact that if I were sitting at home and I were a student and I had several things going on, it would really take some effort for me to stay really plugged in when you're looking at 50 minutes basically interacting with the screen. Well, it's not going to be easy to do if you're not actually interacting. So I'll call on people, and I would like you to always turn on your camera and your mic remotely and go ahead and give me the best response you got for whatever it is, and then we'll move forward. There's a lot of different things where we're going to use groups, and we're going to get the class together working in different groups and getting to know one another and try to become sort of a support unit one for the other. So with that said, let's take a look at the LMS itself. Now, first of all, you might ask why that banner is a bunch of tools. Well, that's what you're getting in this class. You're getting a bunch of tools. The fact is that there are a lot of services that you can avail yourself to that will help you. And then there are also some techniques that you're going to learn that will help you succeed when you're going through some of these classes. And all of those really are tools, so I put that up there for that purpose. And if I scroll down, you can see there's announcements, first of all, and every time I use the announcement, it will send out an announcement to the LMS. It'll show up on the sidebar in the LMS, but it will also go to your email, but it'll go to your webmail for the school. So it's crucial that you're checking that often, at least every other day. I really encourage you to check it daily. So that's where course announcements are going, and that's just one way, me reaching out to you. And now, stuff about me. When you go here to this, you'll see how to contact me. The locator card will give you my information for where I am, what my office is, and all the rest of it, although that is pretty much duplicate to a lot of this. And you can also make an appointment. If you need to have a conversation with me, not a problem, make an appointment, and what we'll do is we'll go over to this digital office hours and log in for any kind of a conference that we have, since we're probably going to try not meet face-to-face except in the class setting for those people who are doing that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to take a look at is the welcome that we're looking at right now. And some of the things I've put in here is basically that there is going to be videos embedded with some regularity that I'm going to ask you to watch. Often they may stop and ask a question in mid-video, so please watch through the whole thing rather than just skip through it, because that's going to count basically as participation and attendance. That's sort of important. With that said, let's go down a little further. All right, communication in the course. As I said, we'll be using email, but we're also going to try to use this tool called Remind. When you go to your course, you'll see this, and I'm going to ask you to sign up for Remind. And what Remind is it will use your phone, where I'll be able to send out SMS messages to the class as a whole for any kind of reminders or any kind of information we give. I won't overuse it because I know we all get contacted perhaps. Another thing we're going to look at is the course syllabus that's here. And the syllabus is actually broken into parts on this course, and you can see what those parts are, and it walks through and basically says what's required of you. But I'll skip right ahead to grading. And for this class, what we're looking at is a grading that's going to be half of your points are going to be the assignments, the quizzes, and the graded activities that you get. And then there's also, I'm going to give out questionnaires and surveys, and I'm going to be calling on you in class, and that's another 15% of your score. And then we're going to have discussions and class participation as well as attendance, and that's 25% of your score. So really showing up is huge. And then I'm going to give you a final assignment where you can sort of take some of the tools and all you've put in hand and create some documents that might help you as you move forward. And we'll talk about that when that time comes. Anyways, but this is the syllabus, and it is in our website as well, so it's important that you're knowledgeable about where that is. We're going to find that you'll need to have some basic computer skills to get through this. And then it talks about the computer you'll need and whatnot. But you're also going to have to be able to get on email. And then there's also something called Cengage. Let's take a look at that. This will give you some description about how you're going to sign up for Cengage, where you'll get your e-textbook and some of the materials and some of the assignments. And please note that students purchase Cengage access from the bookstore. They are then sent a link via an email that allows them to register for Cengage. If you don't receive the email, or if it disappears in spam or something, please have them call the Cengage number below. This will activate a new email to allow them to register, and that is 844-989-8669. And if you don't know how to do that after you go through this, please reach back out to me and I'll give you some more instruction. Alrighty, now this is the Cengage, where you'll click into that and it'll take you to what's called an external tool, and you'll see this load Cengage on my side, and you'll walk through some steps for getting that ready. And if you have trouble with that, once again, reach out to me and I'll probably put you in touch with the library or the Cengage people themselves if you've tried to purchase this already. But that will always open up in this other site or other browser tab. So I'll close that and go right back to where we were. And I go back to our course home for this. Okay, and what do I do next? After you've gone through all of those, I'm going to ask you to read through this, and it will give you a little bit more information. And then, as always, you're going to go to the next topic, and that topic is right here, and it's got some steps you're going to need to take through to become familiar with that. And every one of these, if you click it, there will be a drop down. And in this case, you'll see a video from Laura Leatherwood, our president. And then there's also this solo test that you have to take, the confirmation quiz. Now, there is another course in your My Courses that you'll need to get into and take that when you get here. Now, you only have to take it one time when you're at Blue Ridge, but it basically introduces you to how the LMS works. Anyways, with that said, walk through all of the things in this section, and then you'll find out that the next week, another one of these topics will open on this side, and then you'll be able to approach the materials in there. And that's how it's going to work. We'll meet Tuesdays and Thursdays. Half of you will be meeting with me, half of you will be meeting remotely, but I would like all of you to be here on time. For people who are meeting remotely, since you don't have to drive here, I'm going to ask you to please get to the site 5 or 10 minutes early, log in, make sure your camera and your mic are working, and then mute both, as I said, before we get started. With that said, welcome, and I'm looking forward to this semester. I think this next 8 weeks are going to be very worthwhile for you and for myself. Have a great day.